The long and the short of a part of my life. Volume 2, Christopher Sanderson. Drapes, felt, thick, rolling and curvaceous, hung to the floor, slung, dyed purple, mauve and crimson. Flock wallpaper, soft, mood-stimulating music. Not Wagner or the Rolling Stones, not today at any rate. Bareness followed by decoration, so hard to leave life alone. Tired, warm and drowsy, battle to wait, but wait I will, for the sound of car tire on pebbles. Voices outside in the dark. The wait will make it happen. I have waited this way before. Wire fixed with an old bolt slide, wooden window frame drilled with a masonry drill. Black smoke warns of a potential fire hazard. Insulation fixed with bond and tape. Floor tiles laid higgledy-piggledy, lay the temptation to trip head over heels. I sat on Slapton sands, new note of death that landed there, new note of peace that stands to bear. Gravel pits, unmanned railway crossing, easy to be easily mischievous as the day draws to a close and the cars head for the darkness. Stars, constellations reach out, find a way. Time is the cure, explain. His twitch, his over-exuberance, his tears, his awkward frame. Claim him back, make him stay. Sunday, towards midnight, washing basket full, ankles throbbing, 2 nights alone, a busy old day. Taut, tight around the capstan, feedback control loop, Venn diagram simplicity, security of purpose, an outturn. He stands on the corner, in shorts, a rucksack on his back, actively smokes his cigarette. Watches the passing traffic. In a moment he is gone. Forklift truck drivers load the articulated traffic. Yellow fluorescent vests. Is it lemon yellow or lime green? A supervisor approaches in lordly citrus orange. The automatic gate is open. Tick boxes ticked, thumbs up, horns tooted. She drives past, turbocharged Golf convertible, short hair, curls and waves, a stylist's cut. She smokes king-size filter tip, Sam Moritz or Alfred Dunham, elegance personified on the industrial estate. Crimsons, golds and greens, tree-lined concrete roads. A second lorry pulls into place outside the pizza factory. Across the way from the enamel glass emporium that is Pork Farms Limited. I wait at 8:30 in the morning for a 9:30 a.m. appointment with a manufacturing company which I know I've seen better days. 3:30 in the afternoon, the business day is over. A day of informal meetings, explanations, past history. Were we buying or were we selling? I was thanked for my effortless involvement. Invaluable the word you used, I recall. Your train is due in 1.5 hours. I may go sit by the river, escape from the interviewees in the supermarket cafe. I would have gone already, were it not for the smile of the frizzy-haired scamp in the super deluxe buggy. A sketch, the remains of Newark Castle, viewed from Riverside Park, opened by Councillor Jackson in 1999. Fishing is prohibited. Offenders will be prosecuted. A short-sleeved youth gesticulates to his friends laid on the grass. In the hot sun and the shade of the rhododendron, they seem contented. Unexpectedly, conscious or not of my observation, they move off, to be replaced by a fearsome-looking hound with a fearsome-looking owner. Boldness does not suit everyone, but I determine not to tell him. Children peer over the railings that protect the windows and the ramparts, prevent accidental fall to the river 20 meters below. Behind one same window a tree, oak or rose chestnut. Its maturity suggests it is a good while since guests were entertained by harlequins, troubadours, and all you could eat and drink for the duff of a cap. Silly bitch, words spoken followed by laughter, peroxide blonde with china clay white skin. Now someone did ought to tell her that her colour does not suit pink. You would have to say he was a dandy, straw-boated, tipped and tilted, silver grey shoulder length hair, trousers tucked into his unlaced boots, royal blue fisherman's smock top, beer belly, face reddened when he fell asleep on the grass in the sun. The lock gates open, a passenger boat of tourists wait for safe passage. Algernon, for that could be his name, bids them bon voyage. Architects have been at work, foam green paint, full light windows. A restoration project, work in progress, even from this distance. Signs of subsidence, uneven balconies, off-kilter brickwork, a bit like Gloucester, so says the old lady, in her way too tight denim jeans. Richard was easy in his manner that is, diffident nearly, yet with a calm sense of purpose. He effused inclusion, convinced one entirely of his suitability for the task. Bare-topped youths by the river, gay and wild and rampant, soft to be threatened, soft anyway, I drive off. Alliance Street, raised but faded black letters, dirty with red dust, white background, stronger together. Sleep all day, where are they headed? Drugs and other such dependencies, what points to prove? My belief system, escape from a council estate, hungry for betterment, desire to devour culture and experiences. Home, to tea on the table, bath and aftershave, drink myself to a stupor, work all the next day. It isn't easy, tra-la-la-la-la, needs more than observation, fiddle-de-diddle-de-dee. Publish the rug, piled with Norwegian wood, pass around the jug, sing of tracks and blood. To weep is not to know. How dare they say, time is a great deal. To weep, yet, is to show that you care. Nay, you dare to fool the deal. Steal away, is it okay to lie? So what is the straight and narrow? Fear, fear of fall and broken arrow. Born into wheel and barrow. Reveal, feel the sheen and shallow. Words that change not, lest what you change yourself. Fresh light, memories of smiling faces, valley sides that reach to the skies, winding climbing roads. Sit to talk and talk, gaze at the grass, at the arch, bridge and stream. Sit to talk and talk, wade to the knees in spring's waters. Sit to talk and talk, party with barbecue, guitars and vino. Sit to talk and talk, hard, still, to take it all in. Theatre bar, late afternoon in June. Friendships, forgetfulness. Run shower, train station, concert hall. Parks, paths, blossom. Hillside in the distance, rooted for this brief horizon. Class of 6 or 7, small enough to care for each other's work. Was that the difference? More likely that for the most, egos were left to postulate, back beyond the threshold. In this house, terraced house, a receptionist who answers the telephone. Prints from IKEA that have slipped down in the beach veneer frames. Flowers that pose haphazard. Sound of a whining drill from the ones kept for best, bow-windowed front room. Footsteps, loud vibrations from above. Footsteps that move down the narrow stairway. Someone is in a hurry. Fingers tap away on the QWERTY keyboard. The fireplace is long gone, and the bathtub too. Just an abstract idea, simply me musing on the passing of a century or more. Chaos in the making, in many ways chaos already made, but chaos on a small scale. Familiar family concerns, not so familiar, now I stop and think. And anyway, familiar would offer little or no solace. So is it chaos or is it life codependent on? I cannot recall the right word. My internal capabilities have put the block on that word. My mother, your son, your mother, my son, that word, hereditary. Damn the memory, yet sometimes it pleases. As a young man there was no fear, no symptoms with my grandparents, but still I never acted. Never learnt lines for play or prayer or poem. How else to measure deterioration? I could say the leather was tan. The colour is often chosen. My mechanisms of incertitude at work. It means little to you, I guess. You have your own forgetfulness to depreciate, your own loss of youth to celebrate with tears. I write of a short vacation, half a year or so ago. I am reminded of this time watching videotapes of poetry passionately recorded in the roof space, accessed by a ship's ladder. Those round rails proved to be a devil of a pain for my bare or cotton stocking feet. We had the most lively of storms at home yesterday evening. Lightning flashes all the way through watching Jack Nicholson's Chinatown. The garden thrown all way towards the perimeter fence and edges. That young lad must have got soaked going home on his motorbike. I am. It is a fault that I acknowledge freely. I am wandering away from the job at hand. Where was I? Yes, the vacation last December. More than a covering of snow, some roads declared impassable. Snow. Snow became a part of the watchword for our adventure. Snow, log fires, real air, pub food, long walks, church services, villainy. We weren't interviewed by the police, neither at the time, nor on our return to Lincolnshire in time for Christmas. We were, though, present, both shortly before and shortly after the incident. Our fingerprints, our DNA, our caressed breath encoded the space in droves. Snowflakes under streetlights, snowflakes falling on the frozen water, snowflakes on window panes by the Arga cooker. A cooker that brought life to baguettes smothered with garlic. A cooker that slow cooked the homemade lamb hot pot. The locals thought the raid was well planned and daring. At least 2 vehicles, possibly more, as lookouts. With only one road on and off the peninsula, timing was of the essence. Landlines were cut, but in this mobile age, the police could be contacted. We went to see the Francis Bacon painting, in the flesh, so to speak. Actually, we went twice. There is a good deal of security. Personally, I was more taken by the sketch on the back of a letter. £8,000 the asking price. Yes, I know, but we all have to live. Chinatown, a very stylish film, but a film I had almost forgotten. Only as Faye Dunaway told of her sister or daughter being the same person, only then did a sense of déjà vu strike me. Then, and when the phone rang, it was the police officer from Rutland. He asked could we go to the station. What we wear, what we care to do with our life. Make plentiful the once rare occasions. Time to think, thoughts of conscience, free from strife. All of this because he wore faded denim, white plimsolls, white socks, white poplin cotton shirt. All of this because of walks on the beach, white sand, white blue sky, white surf, rolled and reflected. How we move, what we bring for a purpose, relief from the once determined stride. Time to wander, wander, absent-minded, free and wide. The old doors and windows could have remained, that I concede. No, I need to say more. It is right you ask that I expand the explanation. It is about the life process. I could listen, take heed, join the conversation. As it is, the toast is here. I already have the orange juice. The hotel conservatory roof reminded me of past previous decisions. Absolutely, I chose real glass. The cheap perspex here makes such a racket. Something looking back I very rarely did. Not in a sensitive way, that is. That old tree at the estuary end. To have known the place, I ought to have walked both sides of the riverbank. But I was smitten, somewhat wrapped up in love's dream space. Always the sun shone, a microclimate some would say. The stay was short, yet proved expensive. Still a price to pay. A teenage son searching for ambition and a sense of purpose. But so long ago, rooms, hotels, occasional apartments, my own transition town, where the meditations met the mudflats. More than indulgence, oh boy, if I could tell you, were you ever in love enough to sit again by the water? The tidal road becomes submerged. Posts 5 feet high guide cars through. Towards the chalk blue house, with 2 chimneys and 5 windows. Reeds blow in the breeze, in the same strong sunlight that enchanted my situation all those years ago. The sky today is a shared affair, bright, luminous, vibrant blue, overwhelmed from time to time by rain clouds up from the south. If time had stood still, as for you, so for me, and so for today's travellers, who may not then return so soon. Turn and turn again, anywhere to stay at ease, to become so indecisive in such a short space of time requires a special talent to be deeply ingrained. Midges, mudbanks, woodland silence, curvature of water, vortex, or some pattern of the like. I have to find you. Should I call your name, or search, inadvertent, hope for you to be found real or as a shadow? The path goes deep into the woods, along the side of the beach-lined estuary. A moment of panic. 4 youths drive by, stare out of their car window with menace. I reverse my car into a less prominent locale, crunch the rear fender in the process. This would be an almost perfect disappearance. No one knows you are here, other than me, that is. And where would I stand under interrogation? Vague, untidy, incoherent, absent, clog to clog, from an estate of 15,000 acres, to steak served without the requested chips by the outdoor diners. My meal, not even close to what I ordered. Clumsy boots and clumsier affections, poor form all round. Exquisite location, vast views across open country, over the cityscape to numerous counties beyond, all the way through to the washed out pink haze horizon. Hold up with divergent pressures. For you too, the trick is to find a balance. Even the cows seem at a loss as to where to stand. And what few birds there are chatter among themselves. Slight breeze asks the curtain to gently sway. First impressions, what a fine place. All needs met, all functionality at hand. Why change the viewpoint for the morning, other than your own mood changes, and your throat is sore? The amplified roar of the city, sounds of life coming to life, sounds carried as the wind picks up, and grey skies turn to rain clouds. Light fades into darkness, over the cusp, at odds with time, storms raged up country. Only meditation for you and ample food for your son helped all to gain momentum. Feel the breeze through the airs of my bare legs. Oh, to have the chance or inclination to walk bare in the fields, to swim naked again in the sea. Who would share these words? Who to pass on the soliloquy? Who else to be perched so high above the awakening city? No sight of repetition, no regular habit or order. Even the bedrock quivers. To have gambled away an estate of such proportion suggests a considerable determination, which you may call a weakness, but I keep my powder dry. In my own case, the pile to squander much less significant, and all self-made, no bequests having been bequeathed, except for the unconditional love of my mother. Self, sibling, spouse, single, stone on which the water falls, stone on which the sun so often shines. So, say that you heard the call to shave your head or rise at 5:30. Say, from grace with some unit foe, to save the lead, realize that life shall hurt you. My bags are packed, the night is done, I'm heading off beneath the sun. Beneath the sun some way to run, beneath the sun my latest defeats to shun. Valiant hero on the commerce battlefield, down to zero it is the time to steal. Time to steal and seal the fate we feel, time to steal by garden gates to kneel. Ample time for one final thought, instead of work his words he wrote. Words he wrote his way to cope, words he wrote to lend him hope. Drinking at tea time, laughter unbridled at the bar and on the patio. It is all about ambience, starts with a buxom welcome, carries on all through the menu. Alehouse wisdom about the horses and the odds, about greyhounds and picking dogs. Boy, I felt like a glass of ale, a right soft touch for the golden up, not far behind the deep fried fish and chips. Stop. The regulars talk of training horses, how it is the same for dogs. If you want them to learn, give them a treat at the right time. I had dinner at the poacher's, pan-fried salmon, on a bed of crushed potatoes and crab, a couple of pints of finest real ale, no dessert. Back at the hotel I photographed patches of nettles, also the fields near and far, that spread over the many counties towards home. Tonight I can write the happiest verse, even for one so fired up with longing. Desirous red open-top sports car, blonde beauty with wind-swept wavy hair. Wherein lies the explanation for this universal combination, my I feel a thesis coming up. Only right that I should photograph the rose, take some pleasure from the early evening light. This old track would no doubt have seen carriages, vagabonds and gamblers from the racecourse or thereabouts. I am turned away from blazing metal, sun on my back, so to speak. Breeze blows across my breast and cheek, wind sweetened by the crop and nettle. The track is lined with all manner of greenery. Where the lane ends, you ask? Or is it a junction? Well, my friend, I am told it is Clapham, no doubt with a slight change of scenery. Heading back to the sound of horses' hoofs, heading back past the rustle of the trees. Tired light picks out the variegated leaves, heading back down love's labour roofs. A pleasant walk, rural countryside, dry and hard underfoot, bright and blue up above. Down here the breeze brings the bush to a flicker. The higher elevation strikes the beginnings of a roar. The perfume of love was cost to wake coating sensation, envious of the one revelation whose oldest time is lost. The urn lays empty and broken beside the feathered brown conifer. There is restoration, but only a token, save for the wild roses and the juniper. An aim at unsustainable elegance, long past the age of wear and tear. No more champagne at the dance, incongruity of pine is hard to bear. Of Gutenberg and wandering ways, the shapes of life's uncertain play, of scribes with their faultful phrase, unlike type, once set there it stays. 10 toes, 2 knees, a belly and a cock, water lapping as the music plays. 2 thighs, 1 arch, the gates of a lock, surprising in the olden ways. All around, whichever way you turn, yet there, right ahead, imposing, upstanding, gentle stories, tales of remembrance, history to be sought out, parallel and perpendicular. Tomorrow will not be the same, nor was the night before. Respite, recognition, time to hold back the flood, always to love, once loved, always and forever, underneath the skin. Days of love and gathered treasure, always a measure of craved unfolded sin. Enter among reflection and shadow, breeze to carry one more hopeless thought. Sit, but think to stand alone. Gregorian, take leave to hope out for what you owed. Sirens, pigeons, sunlit bricks and windows, motorbikes, aircraft, cloud, flags and stones, as that night on the Mendips, sounds near and far and distance, ebb and flow of love, or what gets mistaken for flow and ebb of lust, or what once forsaken. The balcony or veranda, if you care, that half space is empty, quiet, unlit, loco non parentis. Empty of you and I, empty of so many others. repatriation of sun and moon and dancing, somewhere left behind the tragic days of waste. Beneath the cloud, beneath the blue sky, behind the unturned propeller, veer right, veer left, tilt the rudder with the stick. Listen out for those that lead, more so those that follow. Listen out for those shrieks of joy at takeoff and landing. Listen out in the courtyard Saturn-chromed aluminium chairs, beneath the cloud, beneath the blue sky, beneath the mounts of morn. Veer right, veer left, tilt ever to turn full circle. The birthday present, a surprise, another one of your well thought out surprises. Fly an aeroplane, fly one soul. How ridiculous that I could give, or hope to live out, such bold, courageous inspirations. All manner of architecture, man-made stuff, plus gifts from the Creator. That window could be in Maine, or a lookout over St. Rollard's Bay, or a view on the gardens in Lincolnshire. Worlds of words that collide, memories walking along the cusp of my ever-present now and my more distant way back when. All that I see, all that I see. A pair of feet, cigarette smoke drifting. Female feet bare ankles, seduction in the offing. The tin bath had solid handles and was placed central on the deep fleece woolen mohair rug. My mother lifted me gentle from the soft warm water, swaddled me in a virgin towel of the whitest, most fine and luxurious Egyptian cotton. Father sat at the piano. My elder brother played his practice piece on the cornet. Saturday's procession would be another village success. Soon, though in a few years really, I would be at school, where the smell of cabbage would be overwhelmed by the taste of my tears. Route maps and place names are my bilberry bush. Ashbury is today's poet of choice. Such shame to offload another woman's man. Worse still to then go on and drop the baton. Beyond the pale of hope ever to be forgiven, withheld or held at bay, oft without a voice. Such uncertainty, no security of tenure or contract. Worse still, to shake, to sob, to spill the sodding beans, wander aimless in torn dress with wild unkempt hair, into the fray, somewhat to blame but gaining poise. Such composure, tight in thigh and calf and breast. Better still a smile of fuck you mate defiance. With wind in sail she tears apart the striven. Unrestrained her yell of joy is heard for miles. Chick flick stories are my strawberry blancmange. Huckleberry's today's adventure of choice. Jersey skirt, clinging to the crotch. What's a man supposed to do? Keep calm, firm up, carry on. Svelte in green and purple velvet, a dream of silk and heavenliness. Calm down, stay tight, carry on. Pretty yellow dress, no stress, walking time in the country. Keep calm, lie down, carry on. The age of desire, desirous of all attachments. Listen to the Buddha Master. Firm up, stay tight, lie down, calm down, stay calm, but carry on. Bloody hell, boy, that was quite a kiss, and in broad daylight too. Of course I am unsettled. How could I pretend otherwise? Each week my work forces a return to your once insecure but now firmly adopted bosom. Of course I keep a distance. How else to cope or otherwise? With each creed I skirt my mind burns, surely at a loss in the land of my once co-opted woman. I am, I was, I am. Impatient, useless with temptation. In the bar almost before the telephone call ended. Thinking about a pint before I had partaken of my yogurt dessert. Will it, has it, will it always thus be thus? Yesterday I was described as calm, level-headed, easy, but surely as a poet I ought to get roaring drunk, eat naught but potato crisps. I also should say that the analyst was himself a manic depressive. Promise me you won't wear lime green trousers. Not that I am a fan of Gok, but maybe he has a point. And why do cheddar cheese crisps taste of shrimp? Middle England, middle distance England, at a distance, distant Middle England. And ladies of a certain age, rampant in lime green trousers. I should go outside, out on this clear night, soon. No hope of aurora borealis, though perhaps a solitary northern star, dull enough to match the half-faced glum moon. I am beaten to it by life's young lovers, smoking filter-tipped cigarettes to keep the lamp-lit midges at bay. In that instant Maudlin joins me, sat in the promenade shelter, looking out over a dark sea, with camel, king size, to smelt her, vociferous and wicked tongue. Moths surround the floodlight, the voice behind me, from Teesside, southern soft and Geordie. The pine is magnificent, dusted by the duality of half-light and floodlight. Still, on such a still night, the crows croak hardly trembles. Perhaps, had I taken the position of Council Street lighting engineer, I too could have created half a world where love is as big as the silvery moon. Still, dead still, both sides of the sycamore leaf. A finer specimen than what I climbed as a 10-year-old. Altogether finer than when the fireman rescued the cat. You only know that because I told you. And because in the bar you heard my brother impersonating the local radio news broadcaster in his Scottish drawl, telling the story of fires in chimneys and housewives mostly to blame. Such is that upended rake of red lights. It could be the television mast in Lincolnshire. Too quiet, you say. We're quiet here also. Absolute silhouettes, trees in leaf, yet limp leaf, leaf worn down by the sun, but still leaf, leaf boldly stark, stark against half of the night sky. Truly a beautiful day, Sunlight flares onto the bedroom window. Dry mist hangs, driftless, far away over the city. A scorcher, the receptionist tells me. I wander free-spirited into breakfast. Here I am, carrying Rebecca Solnit's field guide for getting lost, in preparation for a working day. All men are wondrous. My God, it is relentless. Even today, 5 years on. Did you ever study the mind? Search out an explanation. First, for why what it is that enters the consciousness. And second most of all, of why and how this entrance affects emotional mood swings. Expand on why such an entrance creates a chasm or schism or void somewhere between thought and action, conscious or subconscious. We need to know these things, for we cannot all walk into the river with stones drowning our pockets. A fine sort of line between involvement that relinquishes inhibition, or that other place where no freedom at all is intended or afforded. Line, of course, is a metaphor. Some outputs on decision, however mightily ambiguous, or so easily ill-informed. In those few moments of untying the gate, the cows have fled to the far end of the field. Despite me being there to take photographs as the sun sets, despite the attractions of dusk and other such times of change, I am reminded by the cow's departure of my days in the slaughterhouse. Red clay, bare hilltop, close mown hillside pasture. Pigeons or other nested birds, kept awake by the bleat of sheep and the crow of cock. One time, just once to let it pour, in the same unfettered way that even now I cannot ask you. Tongue-tied on this day of days, no help with your grief and loss. Instead you get pissed, sat in the old caravan with our octogenarian neighbours. Bugger all good I am for this. True, I did show you the view from my hotel bedroom window. Told you of the stillness as the kindness of dusk approaches. But I did not say a word about. Never, not once got close to a tear. Instead I left you to weep all alone. Went and sat by the magical door, the rose enthralled entrance to a mythical secret garden. What light does light bring? What light does darkness follow? How still sits the owl, how driven is resolution. Tame shrew of a man, tame now that it is tomorrow. Hear the tractor on the track, hear the finite time of institution. To smile the smile of a man whose smile is born of relief, relief from the release of that self-centered burden that was desire. Desire embedded in distance, caught up in immediate moments of meeting beauty and its perception in those comings and goings, leaving the smile of a man, a smile not in any way of disinterest that was in any event of fraud, no more than a masquerade if you wish, though better to make testaments to smile. The gated arch of the courtyard opens onto far-off hills, leads the eye out over fields of pasture scattered with trees. Undulations of a serious nature carry all the way to the skyline. I know that the city is out there, but its only visibility is heat. Its only audible trail, the traffic noise and overhead jet stream. Aircraft bound to and from airport, where I once boarded often, in search of the impossibility of here, all the while far and distant. A spot of retail therapy. My daughter is a big fan of this invention. But for the half-bent old woman to get angry in the queue for coffee, how big a waste of life is that? Where is such officiousness derived? Which public school did she attend? All the while I write this, I am sat across from. Honestly, I dare not say, for I fear that behind those Roy Orbison spectacles, a dominatrix lurks ready to pounce, ready to stride across the cafe floor, reach down, forceful to see me my notes, bring me to a climax, in a book sense, so to speak. Yesterday, at the Abbey, I wondered if it was time I too bought a white hat, if I should learn to walk slowly, apparently unsteady. Today I call in the shopping mall, buy you a pair of highly sparkled sandals, for myself a hard drive for the computer. I do belong, I don't belong, I long to belong, but not to belong for a long time yet. We don't belong, we won't belong while we draw breath. But then to belong will belong longer than any day. Startled, only a little, but startled all the same. Somewhere between fear and excitement, distinct eyelash refinement, someplace between male and female, made more distinct for incitement by makeup or tearful confinement. Given the benefit of the doubt, natural strong colouring, a blueness, illumination blue, effervescent, incandescent, iridescent blue, lightning, lighting the view of someone startled. True, but only a photograph without a clue. No movement, no engagement, no one knew. I would look out for shiftiness, search for clues as to the genuine self of the person. No doubt try to co-opt at least a smile or two, though take care not to fall in love too easily. I would aim at strong determination from my own eyes, yet I hope that I saw caring and learning reflected. No doubt about the instantaneous energy of the intimacy, hopeful in turn that long-term friendships ensue. Of course I am scared, unsure about my own self, yet certain that the onset ought to happen more often. Space falls onto the ocean's floor. Impossible to look only at the eyes, disappointed with the imperfections, drooping eyelid to the right-hand side. Picked up, more hopeful, thankful, reflections of patio and garden beyond. Later to learn the iris names in a scientific journal kind of way. Space falls onto the eyelit ocean's floor. Breakfast panini, stylish coffee house, refined northern city, days at the races, champagne, smoked salmon, extravagant surprise. Too much sun, too many losing horses, so-called friends making jokes at my expense, even in celebratory places, depression, doubt, implications of vice, space, visibility of ether falls onto the ocean's floor. Boxes, decorated with panache, but boxes all the same as you wanted to escape from. Boxes, rediscovered by any other name. Containment, that is the truth of it, but contained all the same. Shame you thought to place the blame on. Containment, contained by any other game. All about there being no difference, but different all the same. Framed by individual pictures, difference, different from the play. Conformed to the public-private you, formed in and out of ray. Restrained by life's conformations, conformed to leave no more than the state. To say that he's a nice boy suggests I'm not. Okay, once I bought you Fresias, but mostly it is true, I forgot to look into your eyes and say I love you. Yes, I meant to, but that's not really worth a lot, or at all any good in these tired, tried times, where time is the thing we clearly have to slot. Such fun then to play with Rosarch, our psychogeologies with ink on paper to blot. On top of the clear and cold blue mountains, flight path for the Arcadian airline Aeroflot. Again to land beside the beach. Look out, oh, once more to spot your smile. You see, sometimes I am Mr. Nice Guy, especially those nights with my girl, when you are just way too right on, way too God